At 35 years old, Michael Carter had spent most of his life behind the wheel. He was a long-haul truck driver from Ohio, and he thought he had seen everything the road could throw at him. But this trip was different. For the first time, Michael was assigned a delivery from Astoria, Oregon to Northern California, cutting through a remote coastal highway known as Ravenwood Pass. He was alone. The road ahead was long. At first, the drive was beautiful. Towering cliffs, endless forests, dark rivers flowing quietly beside the road. The kind of beauty that makes you forget how isolated you really are. But as evening faded into night, everything changed. The traffic disappeared. The wind went silent, and the road became unnaturally quiet. A thick fog rolled in, swallowing the headlights. Michael switched to high beams, gripping the steering wheel tighter. That's when he saw it. The road narrowed. Crooked pine trees lined both sides. Massive boulders sat like silent watchers, and on the shoulder of the road, a child was standing there, a small boy barefoot, wearing a dirt-stained school uniform. Michael slowed the truck and pulled over. He rolled down the window and asked what the kid was doing out there alone in the middle of the night. The boy didn't answer. He just stared at the ground. Michael called out again. Slowly, the boy lifted his head and smiled. It wasn't a child's smile. It was wide, empty, wrong. And then the boy vanished into the fog right in front of his eyes. Michael's hands began to shake. He grabbed a bottle of water, forcing himself to breathe. If you're listening to this late at night, alone, this is your warning. Make sure you're subscribed to Scare Time Story, because the stories you hear here are the kind that follow you even after the video ends. Still shaken, Michael pressed on. Minutes later, the road curved sharply, and Michael froze. The same bend, the same trees, the same boulders, the exact place he'd just left. This time he didn't slow down. But no matter how far he drove, no matter which turns he took, the road kept bringing him back. He pulled over and checked his GPS. He'd been driving for hours, but the arrival time never changed. He tried calling another trucker. The phone shut off. He plugged it in. It wouldn't charge, and then he saw the boy again. Same uniform, same bare feet, same horrifying smile, standing in the exact same spot. Michael's blood ran cold. He slammed the accelerator. In the mirror, the boy disappeared, only to suddenly appear directly in front of the truck. Michael screamed, but he didn't brake. The truck passed straight through him. When Michael checked the rearview mirror, the road was empty. That's when he realized something was following him, something that was learning, something that was copying him. He took a different turn, drove at full speed for hours, but once again the same road appeared. No cars, no lights, no buildings. Just fog, trees, and silence. Then he saw an old man walking ahead, tall, thin, wearing a pale coat. Relief washed over Michael. He stopped the truck and called out. The man turned. His eyes didn't move. They weren't eyes at all. Just black hollows and that same smile. Michael spun the truck around and sped back toward Oregon. Hours passed. The night never ended. The fuel gauge dropped toward empty. Michael screamed for help, but no one answered. Then he saw someone standing in the road. A man wearing his clothes, his height, his build. As he got closer, Michael realized the truth. It was him, but this version had no eyes and it smiled. Michael's mind shattered. The truck slammed forward. Glass exploded, metal screamed, and everything went black. The next morning, a passing motorist found a truck embedded into a massive boulder at Ravenwood Pass. Michael Carter was pulled out alive, barely. He woke up 2 days later in a hospital. When he told the police what happened, a local ranger went pale. They had a name for it, the Mimic, an ancient presence tied to lonely roads. A thing that copies human forms to confuse travelers. It appears as children, as old men, as strangers, and eventually as you. People who survive an encounter with the Mimic don't die right away. Their minds fracture. Their sense of time fades. Their bodies slowly shut down. Michael never drove again. And just days later, his heart gave out. So if you ever find yourself driving alone at night on a road that feels too quiet, remember this story. And if you want more true-style horror stories like this, stories that feel a little too real, subscribe to Scare Time Story. Because every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, we bring you nightmares you won't forget.